showing a particular line of recent work from Sardine architects, which is lightweight structures, shell structures, structures which have structurally motivated morphology. At the same time, they're very free with multiple parameters to create inverted commas free forms, but then it's kind of following particular structural logics. And we're picking up on research which was done from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s of key pioneers, which we cherish and rediscover, people like Felix Mandela. So we're presenting some of his work in a video and in models. We've actually reprinted some of his models. We're also great admirers of the work of Heinz Isler, the Swiss engineer and architect who died last year, and he has a wonderful archive of models and study models. It's also structural form finding, so we show some of his work we brought from the Isler archive. At the same time, we're also looking at contemporary researchers who work with complex structural morphologies. Philip Bloch from the ETH, so we invited him, as well as showing contemporary work which we're doing with our students in Vienna at the Sardine Masterclass in Vienna. That's for us the common ground between research and practice, between a historical lineage, which is for us extremely important. We never start from zero. We always go back into a research context, as well as using academia to push forward with student works. That's for us common ground. And I think the theme is fantastic, because oftentimes architects are perceived as very solitary figures, as lone heroes with their interest in their own signature, but that's not the way we perceive ourselves. We know that's not how we can develop this work. We know that we're embedded in contexts, in kind of collective research on the one hand, and at the same time we're depending on clients and societal developments, also in technology and engineering. We believe that in contemporary society and our activities are ever evolving. We don't have very stable careers. We have to be mobile. We have to continuously network and reconnect and stay in touch and recalibrate of what we're supposed to be doing with what everybody else is doing. So we're working in fluid networks. And that means that cities also have to become denser, but they also have to become flexible and open. And that's the way we understand architecture and urbanism. We think that the elements of architecture and urbanism have to become variable, parametrically malleable. We're no longer thinking in very rigid stereotypes like cylinders, cubes, pyramids, and the composition out of a handful of these according to grids, axes, symmetry and proportion, but something much more organic, something much more open networks which are more rich, more diverse, more differentiated, maybe more complex, similar to a natural environment, which is very rich and complex, a lot of difference. It never repeats itself, but we can intuitively navigate it. We can find our way because there are laws of transformation, laws of differentiation, which we can kind of grasp and navigate. So that's, I think, for us the model. That's why we call it parametricism, but it's also very much inspired by biology, by organic systems, by natural systems. So that's, I think, where we're going in terms of urbanism and architecture.